Hey guys, welcome back. Andrew here with Ambient Endeavors, and today we're checking out a brand new pedal from Paul C Audio, sort of a legend in the boutique world. It is the Zefram. And to start off, I have no clue what Zefram is. I think there's some sort of tie to Star Trek or a character on that show. Relatively clueless about any and all things Star Trek. So if you are a Trekkie and have some information on the backstory of Zefram, drop it below in the comments. And if you're finding this video or my channel for the first time, thanks for stopping by. Please hit subscribe below so that you keep up to date with all the videos, demos, reviews, and music that I post to the channel here. I really appreciate the support. And this is a cool pedal to dive into. It's actually one of the first pedals I've purchased in a number of months. I got it from Humbucker Music when I saw on Instagram that they had these pedals in stock. No affiliation with Humbucker, but they're a great shop that I've ordered from in the past. And I was just curious to see what the newest offering from Paul C Audio was like. Paul Cochran is obviously the designer and builder of the legendary Timmy Overdrive pedal. It popped up in a video recently here too, but kind of one of the first in a number of low gain transparent overdrives that hit the market 15 or so years ago. It's a fantastic pedal. It really works with a lot of different rigs and it's pretty malleable to whatever you're trying to do. It makes your tone that you've got going just better, for lack of a better or more elaborate example. And the Zefram, by fairly stark contrast, I would say, is not a very transparent overdrive, thanks to an active mid control, which is interesting, and we'll dive into that. But Zefram perhaps picks up where Timmy leaves off, but there's a lot more going on in terms of tone shaping, in terms of coloration, and especially that mid-range presence and interaction in the circuit there. So let's dive into the control set and the sounds from the new Zefram. So first off, the topology is a little bit different than Timmy. You've got 5 knobs and 2 toggles. The top row, you have a tone stack, bass, middle, and treble, where you have an active bass control, you have an active mid control, and then a passive treble control at the very end of the circuit. You have a gain control, which affects the saturation overdrive of the circuit, and a volume control here. The gain starts off fairly low, so you can get some nice low gain or sort of dirty boost textures, all the way up into a near distortion amount of saturation there. So a pretty wide range. And then the volume control has a lot of volume available. We run the pedal at about 11 or 12 o'clock throughout most of the sound samples, and that was even above unity gain for the setup I've got going here. So there's a lot of headroom, a lot of available volume if you want to slam the front end of an amp or if you need that volume in your rig. In addition, you have a 3-way clipping toggle up here on the top, as well as a 3-way cut control. The clipping toggle, as you'll hear, has a fairly subtle effect on the overall circuit, and obviously will have the biggest effect as you turn the gain control up. And the cut control also is a fairly fine-tuning toggle as well to interact with maybe different guitars that you've got in your rig, or to make some fine-tune adjustments to the high frequency ranges of your amp or your overall rig as well. Like I mentioned, the mid control is kind of what stood out to me in this circuit. You have, at minimum, kind of a 0 dB effect, and then as you dial it up, you get an active mid boost that enhances and sort of adds to the saturation and the gain of this pedal as you dial up the mid-range. So you can definitely get some of those really mid-forward pushed kind of overdrive tones, and like I mentioned, even into distortion sounds at the higher gain settings. It gets kind of chewy and then slightly compressed in a fun way, while still retaining the character of your playing and articulation, not so rounded or compressed that you lose a ton of those dynamics. But I would put it in a slightly different category from the Timmy that does stay pretty open and pretty unadulterating in terms of the saturation textures you get from Timmy. Enough talking about this. I just thought it'd be fun to showcase this pedal. There hasn't been a lot said or shown about it so far, so hopefully this is helpful to you if you're interested in the most recent Paul C release here. We're going to of dive into some sound samples. I'm going to be using my Jennings guitar Voyager Deluxe. It's got McNelly wide range pickups in it. I'm going to be running through the Zefram and onto a Strymon Flint for a little bit of reverb, and then going onto my Hiwatt DR20 and onto a UA aux box to capture that. Check it out.